everyone, thank you again for checking out my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I wanted to talk about being new as a vegan and those new overwhelming things and sort of how to handle that and the pressure and everything that kind of goes along with being in a new world, in a new universe, and what that can feel like and how to handle it, and some tips and tricks on how to navigate through this new world. So I hope this is helpful. The reason I decided to make this video in the first place is because a friend of mine completely unexpectedly watched a new documentary that is on Netflix. And she sent me a message because she knew that I was vegan, and she said, I'm going vegan. I'm going to be stalking your Instagram, your YouTube to get ideas. And so I thought that this would be a really great resource for anybody who really just needs things to expect, tips, somewhere to go when you feel like maybe you're alone or you're the only one feeling like this. And so let's go ahead and get started with my tips for being a new vegan. The first thing, number one, is that it can be really overwhelming when you first start. I remember I was extremely overwhelmed, and before I even decided to go vegan completely, I did a ton of research. I watched a lot of videos so that I knew what I was getting myself into, and I think that's really important. Even just going to the grocery store, you recognize things that you always buy. You basically have to have tunnel vision for the vegan items, which can be really hard because we want to go to the prepackaged things, the easy things, especially if you're coming from the standard American diet, which is just a lot of prepackaged junk. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of vegan food that is prepackaged junk as well. Yeah, like you're stepping into this whole new world where you have to learn how to cook again. Basically, you're leaving like these whole food groups off your plate that you're so used to relying on. So it can be really overwhelming and kind of stressful. And so you just need to be prepared for that. I went vegan overnight and I just dove in head first because I had done a lot of research. Yeah, like you just need to know that it's okay and it's normal to feel completely overwhelmed because you're changing this whole big piece of your life that you're so used to, and it kind of turns your life upside down for a little bit. Once you make it past the first couple of weeks, like it's smooth sailing, you're not going to have any problems. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that you need to not be so hard on yourself. Changing your lifestyle is really hard, and it takes a lot of getting used to. Like I said before, if you make a mistake, either accidental or on purpose, let it go, move past it, and I just pretend it didn't happen. I mean, I made mistakes in the beginning, and I still do. You just have to move past it. Mistakes happen, and what you need to keep in mind is that you're doing the best that you can. The third thing that I wanted to talk about is sort of the negative side of being vegan, and I still experience this to this day, and I'm sure I will for the rest of my life as long as people are still eating the standard American diet, is that you're going to be left out of some things, especially at gatherings and family gatherings, work gatherings, eating out with people, and that's just sort of goes along with the territory. And you have to know that going into it, that that's going to happen, and you just need to be prepared ahead of time for that. Because I mean, I can think of dozens of times that, like say it's somebody's birthday at work and somebody brings in a cake and you just say no thank you. That's what's been the best thing for me, I think, is that I've always had a problem with saying no to foods that I know that I shouldn't eat. But now I have this hard and fast rule where I just don't eat it. So I don't even have to think about it. Like, if there is an animal product in something, I don't eat it. That's why it's been so easy for me to lose weight, is because I didn't really have to try. Like, I just had this rule and I followed it, and it was really that simple. But you need to be prepared that you're gonna be left out of things. You're gonna feel like an outsider. You are choosing not to participate in things that most everybody does, and that's just sort of the reality of it, and you need to be okay with that. You need to be secure within yourself and know that it's okay and you don't need to fit in. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about kind of goes along with the last point that I made, and that is that prepare to be misunderstood by people. A lot of people aren't going to really get or understand why you're doing what you're doing, or how, or like what the point is altogether. And so I've encountered a lot of people that can be really kind of nasty and aggressive about it, because going vegan and saying, no, I don't want this bad stuff in my life, some people can take that as an attack on them, whether you're meaning to or not. And so they get really defensive and they take it personally. And that's something that I didn't really expect. Like, I was always really excited to talk about it and not be pushy or weird about it, because I was excited about it and I wanted to share the things that I learned with other people. And some people just aren't gonna get it, and some people don't want to get it, and you just need to be okay with that. Those people aren't ever going to be on this side of veganism, and you just need to accept that. Like, you just do you, and don't worry about those negative people that are trying to make you feel shitty for something that you're doing for yourself that's good. The fifth point that I'm going to talk about sort of goes along with the last 2 points, which is don't be preachy. If people are genuinely interested in what you have to say about the topic, then by all means, like, educate them, know what you're talking about, have your facts straight, and just teach them about it. Because some people genuinely do want to learn and they want to understand what it's all about. And so you need to be open to those people and make it a pleasant experience, because a lot of people have negative experiences with people that are vegan that are too preachy, too forceful. And I made that mistake a little bit in the beginning because I was so excited about this new information that I had that I just wanted to, like, shove it down people's throats. Some people just aren't ready for that. They don't care and they don't want to care. And so you just need to be prepared to read people and know if they are genuinely interested in learning about it or not. If they're not and they're asking you questions, just answer honestly and just be done with it, because some people are going to try to bring you down and they genuinely don't care. So you just kind of need to let it go. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that it's way easier to be vegan than anybody thinks. I was way over prepared when I first started. Like, I wanted to have all this special food and all these special vegan things, but in the end, really it's all about just eating whole plant foods like potatoes, rice, vegetables, fruits, grains, nuts, seeds. That's very simple. And the hardest part is just learning how to combine all those things to make delicious meals, which is, it's more than entirely possible. Like, it's better than you could ever imagine or expect. Which brings me to my next point, which is be open to exploring new foods. Different things that I never tried before. I never had a need to try before, because I had this full plate of meat and dairy and eggs and animal products, and there's no room for anything else when you have a full plate of that junk. So now that that stuff is sort of pushed out of the way, I have just, like, my head is exploding with all of these things that I want to try, that I want to make. And of course now I've sort of settled into the things that I enjoy making and the things that I found that I like, but I'm always exploring. I'm always open to trying new foods and new things. And that's what's really, really exciting about it to me. Don't think of veganism or a whole foods plant-based diet as something that's taking things away from you. It's taking the meat and the dairy and the eggs and all these animal products away from you. You want to think of it as, instead of it taking things from you, you're adding all these amazing, delicious, nutritious things that you never got to experience before. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is ways to, when you feel discouraged, especially in the beginning, what you can do to stay on the right track and to remember why you did this in the first place. And that is to keep learning. I'm reading books, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm watching documentaries, I'm talking to people. And that's really, really important if you want to stay motivated and learn just in your own kitchen. I mean, try things out, just experiment. And it's meant to be fun. It's not meant to be inhibiting. So explore these new ideas and talk to people and read these amazing books and just keep learning, because that is the best way to stay motivated and to stay on the right track. And the next thing is something that maybe some people won't agree with, but I've always felt deep down that I always really enjoyed being different from other people. And so that's why veganism, I feel like, sort of fit like a glove for me, because you are different than most people. You have to be really secure in yourself. You have to know what you want and you have to go after it, and you have to stand up for what you believe in without going overboard and being annoying about it. But the The world would be so boring if we were all the same. And that's one thing that I love about veganism, is that all these people that are vegan that I've reached out to, that have communicated with me, or just that I'm watching, they're also different, and I appreciate that and I love that about this lifestyle. Just enjoy being different, enjoy being your own person. People are going to try to dissuade you back to your old habits, and that's just because they all of a sudden feel disconnected from you because of this new lifestyle, because it's a big deal. I mean, a lot of our lives revolve around food. People are gonna try to bring you back to the other side. Not only does it make them sort of feel bad, like you've made this decision to better yourself, so what does that say about them? But also, you have this disconnect where you maybe don't bond or connect over the same thing anymore around food. And so it can kind of push some relationships. I mean, I've definitely experienced that in my marriage and in my friendships. You need to be strong without being an a-hole. There's a way to handle it. I can't say that I've been perfect. Like, I've definitely screwed up a lot in just the way that I was talking to people, and you just sort of need to like lay it out on the table and just say, this is me, take it or leave it. I'm not affecting your life, and so leave my choice alone, because this is me now. Like, this is who I am, so you need to get used to it. The next thing you need to remember is that what you are doing is great. It's not only good for you, it's good for the planet. It's obviously good for the animals. You just need to remember that. I mean, that is basically why we do this in the first place, right? I mean, there's several different reasons, but I would say that those are the three main reasons. And so you just need to always keep those in the back of your mind. People aren't going to understand, and that's okay. Like, that is perfectly okay if people don't understand. They will come around when they're ready, if they're in your life. And when you're feeling left out, like we were talking about before, I find the best way to share what you've learned, as well as make sure that you actually have things to eat when you go places, is to prepare things ahead of time. Take things to barbecues and to family gatherings and to your friend's house and show them what it looks like to eat this way, because it's not hard. I think that's what dissuades so many people, is they think it's like you have to buy all new food and all new this and all new that, and it's not like that at all. You have these staple foods, right, that you have grown up eating, like pizza, tacos, soups, stews, things like that. Like, those are the things that you enjoy eating. Just veganize them, make them plant-based. There are substitutes for literally everything now. The things that I love are pizza, Pizza Hut pizza, in fact. They do have a dough that is vegan, and so you can order vegan pizzas. You just ask for no cheese and just get whatever vegetables you like. And basically what I do when I order, like for example Pizza Hut, is I get my pizza and then I have the oven preheated, so when they deliver our pizza, I just throw a little bit of my vegan cheese on there and I pop it in the oven for a few seconds. And to conclude this video, what I really wanted to say is just that you really want to just have fun with this lifestyle. It really is a blast. You get to explore new things, meet new people. It opens your mind to all these things that are happening in the world that you had no idea about. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope that it was helpful. Please subscribe. I would love to have you. Make sure to like this video. It really helps it out, and it tells me what you guys like to see. Take care, you guys. I will see you next time. Bye.